the history of Islam in Kerala is in a big way linked with a large chunk of interaction with the external world. Centuries old connection with the global system, with trade, with face-based interactions, with interactions with several communities have produced an Islamic cosmopolitanism in Kerala. That cosmopolitanism is under critical kind of transformation due to several factors. One is the rise of Hindutva politics in India, then the global notions of Islam in a monolithic manner, and then the kind of divisions and factionalism within the Islamic organizations and practices. The way in which boundaries are built within the community and between the community and the rest of the society in Kerala. The nature of this boundary, the ways in which they can be transcended, the ways in which Muslim voices can be heard in the public sphere of Kerala. These are critical questions at this juncture. One way of addressing the issue would be to connect it with larger issues of the society and the community. In Kerala, because of the demographic nature of the society, Muslim voices have not been very marginal, as in many other places in India are. Because of the long history of Islam in Kerala and long traditions of interaction between communities, several boundaries have always been transgressed. That is through intermingled living in villages and towns, through social exchanges, through political organizations, through participation in social movements, engagement in local public libraries. There were many arenas of those kinds of shared living. The tradition of greater interaction with the rest of the world and generating a notion of Islam that is connected beyond the boundary also provided enough resources for the Muslim community to have a very meaningful interaction with the rest of the community in Kerala. And Kerala's own public life, its social life, and its religious life, they were enriched by this cosmopolitanism that the Muslim community has brought to Kerala. And this has, in a way, taught the Kerala public the ways in which diversity can be a great resource the culture of various communities in terms of food, clothing, in terms of social practices, etc., have been thoroughly influenced by Islamic cosmopolitan connections. And if one thinks of a Malayali identity now, it is thoroughly enmeshed with what Islam has brought to Kerala in a substantial manner. And therefore, diversity within Islam and the diversity within the Kerala society with various religious communities and political communities in itself is a great resource and a great source of strength for Kerala. At the same time, factional social and political organizations, on the one hand bringing in innumerable opinions and practices to the fore, but on the other have posited the question of what constitutes the Muslim community now in Kerala. The contemporaneous identity of Muslims in Kerala is under tremendous introspection with this large chunk of factional social and political organizations. So the identity question is addressed in several ways. One way it is addressed is with the connection of Kerala with the Gulf migration. That process have, in a way, exacerbated the question of factionalism. The resources that emanate through this migration, on the one hand, provided the community with enough backing for further education, for moving forward in the economic ladder and so on. On the other hand, it has also contributed to greater levels of factional politics and social organizations within the community. The diversity has contributed to a whole range of rich cultural experiences. At the same time, hegemonic kind of homogenization is also happening at two levels. One is placing the Muslim community within an overall framework of global discourses on Islam. On the other hand, the rise of Hindutva in India, placing the Muslim community within a particular homogeneous entity. Both the national and the international contexts have contributed to certain levels of homogenization at this juncture of diverse opinions emerging within the community at this point of time. What is important here is to critically evaluate the hegemonic notions of community evolving within the Kerala Muslim society, and at the same time value the long-term cosmopolitan experiences and ascertain the diversity of the community at a social and political level. This is very significant. The maintenance of diversity, the expansion of the possibility of diverse positions within a democratic framework is significant. At the same time, the community as a whole and the civil society in Kerala in general have to address the question of hegemonic tendencies, not only in the whole polity of India and Kerala, but also within the community itself. A critical introspection of such hegemonic tendencies, I think, is an immediate and a very significant task.